All right, so let's get into this feeling. You know the one where you go to the grocery store and you're just like, whoa, or when you go to fill up your gas tank and you think twice.
Yeah.
It seems like everything costs more these days, and it's like really making us all rethink, what we really need and what we don't. And, you know, that's what made us want to dig into this article, Texto Colado.
Hmm.
It highlights 15 things that people are actually starting to live without because of these rising costs.
Interesting.
Are you ready to get a little uncomfortable?
I think it's more than just discomfort.
Oh,
This article, it reveals a fascinating shift in like our collective mindset.
okay.
It's almost like we're being forced to rediscover what value, truly means, and not just like dollar signs.
I'm intrigued. Lay it on me. What's the first thing on this list of things people are ditching?
Well, let's start with cable TV.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when that was like the way to watch shows and movies?
Yeah.
Now with streaming services, you got all this flexibility and like a ton of content for way less money.
It's true.
Cable's becoming like the dinosaur of
Yeah.
the entertainment world.
Yeah, I can barely keep up with all the streaming services I subscribe to.
Right.
But doesn't this shift to streaming have bigger implications, though? Like,
Well,
what does it mean for how we'll even consume entertainment, in the future?
that's what's so fascinating about it.
Okay.
This shift, it empowers viewers. They
Mhm.
can curate their own experience. But it puts so much pressure on the people making the content to keep churning out hit after hit after hit.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a whole new game and we don't even know the rules yet.
Mind blown. Okay. What else are people sacrificing at the altar of affordability?
Well, think about those nights. You go out to your favorite restaurant,
Uh-huh.
indulge in a delicious meal.
Yeah.
Maybe have a fancy cocktail or two.
Yes.
That's becoming less frequent for a lot of people.
I can relate to that. It's like choosing between, one meal out or stocking up my entire fridge for the week.
Exactly. And this article, it highlights that home cooking isn't just a necessity, it's like becoming a trend.
Really?
People are rediscovering the joy of experimenting in the kitchen.
Oh, wow.
They're mastering new recipes,
Yeah.
even growing their own herbs and veggies.
So we're trading fancy restaurant meals for like becoming homegrown culinary masters.
Yeah.
I kind of like where this is going.
It's a silver lining.
Yeah.
This financial pressure, it's like pushing people to be more resourceful and creative.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes that means they're tapping into like skills and passions that they might not have explored otherwise.
I love that. Okay, but I gotta ask,
Yeah.
what about movie theaters?
Ooh.
Surely we're not giving up that giant bucket of popcorn and the thrill of the big screen.
Well, the data suggests that movie theaters are facing a challenge.
Hmm.
Think about it. A single movie ticket can cost more than like a week's worth of groceries for some families.
Ouch. That puts things in perspective.
Yeah.
But I guess that's where streaming comes in again, right?
Right. The home viewing experience.
Yeah.
It's become increasingly sophisticated. You've got larger TVs, surround sound systems, and on-demand access to like practically every movie you can imagine.
Yeah.
For many, it's a much more appealing and affordable alternative.
So movie theaters might need to like reinvent themselves to stay relevant.
Right.
This is really making me realize just how much these spending changes are tied to larger trends in technology and just like consumer behavior in general.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this leads us to another big ticket item that people are having to rethink.
Okay.
Brand new cars.
Yeah, those shiny new car commercials are starting to feel like a fantasy for a lot of folks.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Between the crazy high sticker prices and rising interest rates on car loans,
Yeah.
owning a new car is becoming like a financial burden.
Yeah.
The article even mentions that a growing number of people are opting for used vehicles, exploring car sharing programs, or even ditching car ownership altogether.
It's almost like the whole concept of car ownership is being challenged, especially with the rise of ride-sharing services and public transportation in a lot of cities.
It's a fascinating shift.
Yeah,
It raises questions about the future of transportation and urban planning.
totally.
Like, will we see a decline in car ownership as cities become more walkable and public transportation gets better?
That's a whole other deep dive waiting to happen.
Right.
Okay, what's next on this list of budget casualties? I'm ready for more.
Okay, this one might resonate with anyone who's ever felt the allure of a designer label.
Ooh.
We're talking about the decline in people buying designer clothes.
Wait, are people ditching the fancy brands?
It seems so.
I thought those were supposed to be recession-proof.
Well, even luxury brands are feeling the pinch.
Wow.
And this article suggests that It's not just about cutting costs.
Okay.
It's also about shifting values.
Oh,
People are becoming more aware of the environmental and ethical issues around fast fashion.
yeah.
They're seeking out more sustainable alternatives.
Okay, so it's not just about saving money. It's about aligning your spending with your values.
It's the exact check that.
We're seeing an increase in secondhand shopping, clothing swaps, even DIY fashion.
Oh, wow.
People are mending and upcycling clothes, breathing new life into old pieces.
Yeah.
They're expressing their style in more creative and conscious ways.
I've noticed more and more of my friends getting into vintage clothing and thrifting. It's like a treasure hunt,
Yeah.
and it's way more affordable. But let's be honest, sometimes those sustainable choices require a bit more effort.
That's true. But that effort can be rewarding in itself.
That's a good point.
It's about challenging the instant gratification culture and embracing a more mindful approach to consumption.
I am loving this theme of resourcefulness and mindful choices that keeps popping up.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what's the next item on the list?
Well, this one might make some fitness enthusiasts cringe.
Oh, no.
It seems like gym memberships are taking a hit.
You're kidding? I thought everyone and their dog had a gym membership these days. What's driving this change?
Well, it's a combination of things.
First, there's the cost. Those monthly fees can really add up,
Yeah.
especially when you're trying to cut back in other areas.
Yeah, sure.
But it's not just financial.
Yeah.
We're seeing this shift towards personalized fitness routines. People are finding ways to stay active outside of the traditional gym.
So, like, are people trading the treadmill for a trail run or swapping the weight room for a yoga class in the park?
Exactly.
I like it.
The internet has played a huge role in this shift.
Oh, yeah.
Countless online workout videos, fitness apps, and virtual communities
It's true.
offer affordable and accessible ways to exercise.
I have to admit, even I've been enjoying those online yoga classes.
Yeah.
You can do them anytime, anywhere, and you don't have to worry about gym crowds or judgmental stares. Plus, you can wear whatever you want.
That's a great point, this shift toward personalized fitness.
Yeah.
It allows people to exercise on their own terms,
Uh-huh.
finding activities they genuinely enjoy and fitting them into their busy lives.
Okay. I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Yeah.
It's like these rising costs are pushing us to be more creative, more resourceful,
Yeah.
and ultimately more in control of our choices.
That's a great observation, and it leads perfectly into the next item on the list,
Okay.
luxury vacations.
Oh, I have a feeling I know where this is going.
Uh-huh.
Those picture-perfect vacations with the pristine beaches and the five-star hotels
Yeah.
are starting to feel like a distant dream.
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
With the rising costs of flights, accommodations, dining out, those luxurious getaways are becoming increasingly unattainable for a lot of people.
It's heartbreaking, I know, but the article suggests that this isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
It seems like people are rediscovering the joy of simpler vacations closer to home.
Absolutely. We're seeing a rise in staycations, road trips, and camping trips.
I like it.
These are often more affordable,
Yeah.
and it allows people
That's such a refreshing perspective. So it's not about giving up on vacations altogether. It's about finding ways to travel and relax without the financial strain.
Right.
And who knows, maybe those simpler vacations end up being even more memorable.
I think you're onto something there.
Yeah.
Sometimes the most rewarding experiences are the ones that don't require a lot of money or elaborate planning.
Yeah.
It's about embracing the journey, not just the destination.
I love it. Okay. I'm ready for the next item on this list.
Okay.
What other aspects of our lives are we having to rethink because of these rising costs? This is like peeling back the layers of how our society's changing.
Well, this one might be a bummer for anyone dreaming of a home makeover.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about rising costs of home renovations.
Oh, no, not home renovations. I've been saving up for that dream kitchen remodel forever.
Yeah.
But I guess with the price of lumber and labor these days, it's no surprise that people are putting their home improvement plans on hold.
It's a tough reality for a lot of homeowners.
Yeah.
The article suggests that instead of, doing these big renovations, people are finding cheaper alternatives like DIY projects,
Okay.
smaller updates, or simply embracing the charm of their existing homes.
I've actually seen some amazing DIY home improvement projects on social media lately.
Yeah.
People are getting really creative and resourceful, and they're often achieving amazing results without spending a fortune.
It's true. And this trend speaks to a larger movement.
Okay.
It's about embracing imperfections and finding beauty in what we already have.
Yeah.
It's about shifting our focus from material possessions to experiences, relationships, personal growth.
I'm all for that. Okay, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
Yeah.
We've explored how rising costs are impacting everything from entertainment and fashion
Mm.
to transportation and homeownership.
Yeah.
And it's clear that these changes are forcing us to make some tough choices.
Mm-hmm.
But what's truly fascinating is how these choices are revealing a deeper shift in our values and priorities.
Yeah.
It's not just about cutting back, it's about rediscovering what truly matters
Mm-hmm.
and finding creative ways to live more intentionally.
Absolutely.
That's such a powerful takeaway. I'm definitely feeling inspired to reevaluate my own spending habits and make sure they align with what I truly value.
That's the beauty of this deep dive.
Yeah.
It's not just about analyzing data. It's about sparking personal reflection
Mhm.
and empowering ourselves to make conscious choices.
I'm hooked. I can't wait to see what other insights this article has in store for us. Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive, where we'll continue to explore the 15 things people are living without and uncover even more fascinating trends and thought-provoking perspectives.
Welcome back. We're continuing to explore how these economic shifts are really reshaping what we even consider essential.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting all these insights from Texto Collado. Are you ready to dive back in?
Absolutely. I'm so curious what other things made this list. The first part really got me thinking about how much, we're being influenced by forces beyond just our own individual budgets.
Right. It's a complex mix of economic pressures, technological changes, and evolving social values. Like
Yeah.
the next item on the list
Okay.
might surprise you.
Okay, hit me.
Concerts and live events.
Wait, are you telling me people are cutting back on live music?
It seems like it.
But the energy of a live show, the
Yeah.
connection with the artist and the crowd, that's priceless.
You're so right. There's something truly special about that live experience.
Yeah.
But those events are getting really expensive.
Yeah.
You've got the ticket prices themselves, then you add on service fees, parking, maybe dinner and drinks.
Oh, yeah, true.
It really adds up.
I guess I hadn't really considered all those extra costs
Yeah.
and how they contribute to the total cost. No wonder people are hesitant to, shell out all that money for tickets these days.
Exactly. And with the rise of things like live streaming and virtual concerts,
Right.
people are finding ways to enjoy music without breaking the bank. Plus, think about the added convenience.
Uh-huh.
You can attend a concert from anywhere in the world.
Wait.
Wear your pajamas.
Yeah,
Pause for bathroom breaks.
it's true.
So,
Okay, so it's like technology is opening up new possibilities for how we even experience music and entertainment in general.
totally. Okay, what's next on this list of things people are cutting back on?
I'm ready.
This one's close to home for me as a health-conscious person. We're talking about organic groceries.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I really try to buy organic whenever I can, but those prices can be a real deterrent,
Right.
When your grocery bill just keeps getting higher and higher.
It's a constant struggle
Yeah.
to balance health and your budget.
Yeah.
For many people, the benefits of organic food
Mm-hmm.
don't outweigh the higher cost, especially when basic foods are getting so expensive.
It's a real dilemma.
Right.
It makes you question, like, what does healthy eating even mean when you have these economic limitations?
Right, and this is where that resourcefulness comes in again. Instead of just focusing on organic options,
Yeah.
people are getting creative. They're choosing seasonal produce, buying in bulk when it's possible,
Yeah.
planning meals in advance to reduce food waste,
That's smart.
and of course, cooking more at home.
Yeah, it's like these spending changes are pushing us all to become more mindful consumers, across the board.
Absolutely.
We're challenged to get creative, find new solutions, and really prioritize what matters most.
And that brings us to another item on the list that really shows this trend of mindful consumption:
Okay.
subscription boxes.
Ooh, those curated boxes full of goodies delivered straight to your door.
Yes.
I'll admit I have fallen victim to those in the past.
I think we all have.
It's tempting to get a box full of surprises each month, but you end up with so much stuff you don't need.
Right. It's easy to get caught up in that novelty.
Yeah.
But they can get expensive.
Yeah, especially when you have multiple subscriptions.
Exactly.
And when people have to tighten their budgets, well, those monthly fees are usually the first to go.
It's a reminder to be more intentional with our spending.
Yes, it is.
Like, before you sign up for another box, you should ask yourself,
Yeah.
do I need this?
Right.
Will it really add value to my life?
Yeah.
Or am I just being sucked in by some marketing?
It's so true.
It's about shifting your focus from just getting more stuff
Mhm.
to having experiences,
Yeah.
prioritizing quality over quantity.
I like it.
Sometimes that means simplifying,
Yeah.
decluttering,
Mhm.
both physically and financially.
It's like Marie Kondoing our spending habits.
Yes, exactly. Okay, what's next on the list?
All right, let's hear it.
This one might be tough for pet lovers out there.
Uh-oh.
Professional pet services.
Oh, no, not our furry friends. What kind of pet services are we talking about?
Well, think about those extras we get for our pets. Regular grooming, fancy boarding facilities when we travel doggy daycare.
Yeah, you're right. That can really add up,
Uh-huh.
especially when you consider that even basic pet care like food and vet bills have also been going up.
Right, it's like being a pet parent is just getting more expensive.
It is.
And for a lot of people,
Yeah.
these rising costs mean they're having to make some tough choices.
Yeah.
The article mentions that more people are learning to groom their pets at home.
Oh, wow.
They're finding other solutions for boarding, like asking friends or family,
Yeah.
and even cutting back on things like doggy daycare.
It's heartwarming to see how resourceful people are becoming,
Right.
finding ways to make sure their pets are taken care of, even when money's tight.
It shows the strong bond between people and their pets.
Yeah.
We're willing to adjust our spending and make sacrifices to take care of them.
It's a testament to how much love and loyalty they bring to our lives.
It really is. Okay, what other changes are people making as they adapt to rising costs? This deep dive is really showing me how much our society is changing.
I know, right? It's fascinating.
This next one is a classic example of how technology changes things,
Okay.
leading to different spending habits.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about landlines.
Landlines, those still exist.
Right.
I haven't seen a landline phone in years.
With everyone using cell phones, landlines are basically useless.
It's true.
And why wouldn't they be?
Yeah.
Cell phones give you unlimited talk, text, and data.
Yeah,
There's no reason to have a landline and pay that extra monthly fee.
that makes sense.
It's a clear example of how technology changes how we behave as consumers,
Totally.
making some products and services obsolete.
Okay, what's next?
This one might be a tough one.
Okay.
Education.
Education is such an important investment in the future.
Yes, it is.
But I know how expensive it can be, especially private schools.
Exactly. The article points out that a lot of families can't afford private school,
Yeah.
especially since public schools are free.
Right.
And there are so many other options these days, like homeschooling and online learning.
It's a complex issue.
It is.
It really highlights how important it is to make sure everyone can get a quality education.
Right, no matter their financial situation.
Okay, I'm ready for the next one.
All right, this one might speak to anyone who likes to pamper themselves at the hair salon.
Yeah.
Haircuts, color treatments, styling, all those little services add up.
I know those salon visits can be a real budget killer, especially if you're trying to keep up with the latest trends.
Exactly, and when people are trying to cut back,
Yeah.
hair salon appointments are one of the first things to go.
Mm.
The article says more people are trying DIY hair care.
Really?
They're learning to cut style and even color their own hair.
Wow, it's like we're all becoming amateur hairstylists.
I know, right?
I've seen some amazing transformations on social media, and there are tons of tutorials and products online now.
Yeah, it's easier than ever to experiment at home.
So true.
This trend is all about saving money
Yeah.
and becoming more self-sufficient.
Yeah,
People are realizing they don't always need a professional
right.
to look and feel their best.
It's empowering. Who knows? Maybe we'll all come out of this with some new skills and a more relaxed view of beauty standards.
That's a great point. It's like we're changing what it means to look good,
Yeah.
focusing more on self-expression and confidence.
I love that. Okay, what's the final item on this list of things people are living without?
This one might be hard for coffee lovers. Gourmet coffee.
Say it isn't so.
I know, but those fancy lattes and cappuccinos.
They're good.
Yeah.
But they can really hurt your wallet if you buy them every day.
The article says 1 cup can easily be $5 or more.
Oh, yeah?
If you do that every day, it adds up fast.
No wonder people are rethinking that daily coffee run.
But there are other ways to get your caffeine fix.
I hope so.
Getting a good coffee maker and some quality beans is much cheaper.
That's true.
Plus, there are so many ways to brew coffee and so many flavors to try.
Yeah.
It's like having your own coffee shop at home.
And you can control how much sugar and stuff you add.
Right, so it could be healthier too.
Okay, so it's another example of how spending less can lead to other positive changes.
Right, we're forced to be creative.
Yeah.
Find alternatives and prioritize what really matters.
You've covered so much in this part.
We have
It's incredible to see how these little spending changes are really reflections of bigger societal shifts.
right.
From technology and consumer behavior to our values and our relationship with the planet, it's all connected.
It really is. It's amazing to see we're reevaluating what it means to live a good life when the cost of everything keeps going up.
I'm curious, what's your biggest takeaway from all this?
For me, it's realizing that even though this is all happening because of the economy, It's also a chance for us to change for the better.
Okay.
We're having to rethink what's important to us, make thoughtful decisions, and create a more balanced and fulfilling life.
I love that it's like we're being pushed out of our comfort zones, and maybe that's a good thing.
Maybe it is.
Maybe that's what we needed to shake things up and make the future better.
Exactly. And even though things are uncertain, there's also hope.
Yeah.
We're adapting, finding new ways to do things, and rediscovering what it means to live well even when things are tough.
This has been such a great deep dive.
It has.
Thank you to all our listeners for joining us. We hope this got you thinking about your own spending habits, what you prioritize, and what really matters most to you.
And remember, even though Texto Colado gave us 15 specific things, it's about more than just the list.
Right.
It's about the bigger picture, the questions it raises, and the chance to create a better life for ourselves no matter what happens in the future.
Beautifully said. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into the things that matter most.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
Okay.
So we've been going through Texto Colado and looking at these 15 things that people are having to live without because of all these rising costs. And it has been, I got to say, pretty eye-opening.
It really has. Yeah, we've covered everything from entertainment
Yeah.
to what's in our kitchens and closets.
Yeah.
And it's really clear that this is about way more than just, tightening our belts.
Right.
It's like this whole shift in what we value as a society.
Exactly. And remember at the beginning I said we might get a little uncomfortable?
Yeah.
I'm kind of feeling that now.
Yeah.
But in like a good way,
Yeah.
It's making us think harder about what really matters.
That's the heart of it. Texto Colado gave us all the data, but what we've been doing is connecting that to the bigger picture.
Yeah.
It's almost like this real-time social experiment that's been forced on us.
Totally. Okay, so let's bring it all home. What are the big takeaways here?
Well, one thing we see is this comeback of resourcefulness.
Uh-huh.
People are getting creative, doing things themselves, finding new solutions they never would have considered before.
Right. Like, necessity really is the mother of invention.
It is, and it's not just about saving money.
Yeah.
It's about rediscovering those old skills and traditions that we kind of lost in this whole consumer culture.
Yeah, like, my grandma would be so proud of how many people are baking their own bread and mending their own clothes again.
I love that.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's like connecting with the past and maybe creating a better future.
Yeah, we're also seeing this shift away from material things.
Towards experiences. It's not about showing off fancy brands anymore.
Right.
It's more about making memories, growing as a person, and connecting with loved ones.
That reminds me of what we talked about with vacations.
Right.
It's not about the fanciest hotel. It's about spending time with your family or seeing a new place, even if it's just a short drive away.
Exactly. And that leads to another big takeaway.
Okay.
Mindful consumption. We have to ask ourselves, do I really need this before we buy anything?
That's a good question to ask no matter what your finances are like.
It is. I used to buy things on impulse.
Me too.
But now I find myself stopping and thinking,
yeah,
will this make me happy or will it just clutter up my life?
that's a great point. It's like changing how we think.
Exactly.
And it goes beyond just stuff.
It does.
It's about how we spend our time, our energy, our attention.
It's about making choices that match our values.
This deep dive has really given me a lot to think about. What about you? What's your biggest takeaway?
I think for me, it's realizing that even though these changes are happening because of the economy,
Yeah.
they're also a chance for us to grow.
Okay.
We have to rethink what's really important, make better decisions, and create a more balanced and happy life.
I love that. It's like we're being pushed out of our comfort zone, but maybe that's what we needed
Yeah,
to shake things up and make a better future.
exactly. And even though there are challenges ahead,
Yeah,
there's also hope.
I agree.
We're adapting, being innovative, and figuring out what it means to live well, even when things are tough.
This has been such a great deep dive. Thanks to everyone for listening.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
We hope you've enjoyed exploring these ideas with us.
And remember,
Yeah.
even though Texto Colado gave us a list of 15 things, it's not just about the list itself.
Right.
It's about what it all means,
Yeah.
the questions it makes us ask, and the chance to make our lives better no matter what the future brings.
So well said. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep